Hello and namaste. My name is Ivory and I am a yoga teacher and a yoga therapist based out of Los Angeles, California. And this evening, I am going to guide you through a practice to set you up for a great night's sleep. Perhaps you had a really stressful day, or there's just a heavy weight on your shoulders and maybe the mind is still racing. This will be a practice where we'll drop off our heavy burdens so that we can relax our nervous systems and settle in for sleep. Okay, I'll take you through a very gentle yoga practice, and then from there we'll do a guided meditation on our backs. So I have a ton of props here because I love props, and I'm going to show you what I have, and then what you can do is just scour your house for anything like this, one or all, and we'll make do with whatever you have. Okay, you don't need everything I have, but if you do have it, then grab it. So I've got a blanket. Any blanket that you have around the house, grab that. You'll definitely want a blanket. I have a big bolster here. If you don't have one of these, no problem. Maybe you've got a pillow or a couple of them. Grab a pillow, okay? And then the other thing I have here are my yoga blocks. I'm not expecting for all of us to have the blocks, but if you do, then you'll want to grab those. Okay, and then the last thing I have is a weighted sleep mask. This is actually by Purple. It's wonderful because it is weighted and it's got this really nice sort of suede finish that feels nice on my eyes. So this is what I'm going to be using. I definitely recommend this one, but if you have any sort of mask or even just a towel that you can put over your eyes for our meditation, that will be ideal. Okay, so have your props nearby. What you may or may not need now is a blanket, and that's just depending on your needs. So let's get started, yogis. We're going to start in what's called a child's pose. So you're going to take your knees pretty wide. Your big toes will come together to touch. And then this is where you might want your blanket. If you're like this and the tops of your feet don't go all the way down, what you can do is place the blanket underneath the tops of your feet so that you've got something to rest on. If the knees are uncomfortable in this position, you can roll the blanket up several times and place the blanket between your butt and your heels, okay, which is the position that I'm going to take. So from here, I'm just going to reach the arms forward, get really long, lengthen out. And then once you find your length, I want you to wrap the arms alongside your body and just let your third eye come down to the mat. You can have the heads of your shoulders, that's the big bulky part here, round forward and drop down. Let your arm bones just rest alongside your shins. Your hips will be sinking into that blanket, and if it's not big enough, then go ahead and roll it up more. And then the third eye is just resting down to the floor. And we'll be here for about, let's say, another 90 seconds or so. So this practice, the Yin Practice, is a practice where we hold poses for longer than what's normally considered in our normal yoga classes. So instead of holding poses for 5 breaths, we'll hold it for 25 breaths. And what it does is it sends a message to your nervous system that you are going to be here longer than normal. And so the muscles are able to relax deeper into the poses. Your nervous system is able to take a break. It realizes that you're in a safe space, that you're comfortable. So it can move out of the stress response, which is fight or flight, into what's known as rest and digest. And that's really important for your whole body in terms of being able to rejuvenate itself, to repair itself, to heal itself. So that's what we're taking here. That's the consideration in these longer held poses. We'll stay here about 6 or 7 more breaths. Let your breath get deeper So the inhales are longer, and then the exhales are more complete. Take 2 more of those cycles of breath. Inhale fully. Part the lips, open the mouth, exhale completely. 1 more like that. Inhale. And open mouth, exhale. Slowly begin to peel out of this shape. Make your way to all fours. And you can move the blanket out of the way. Just send it forward in front of you. And we'll take a few rounds of cat and cow here. So spread your hands wide. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. The hips are over the knees. Inhale. Arch the back. Look up to the sky. And then exhale, flexion of the spine, round down. And take 2 more. Inhale, arch. Really gentle movement. And exhale, round. Close your eyes as you do the next round. Inhale, just focusing on your breath. And exhale. We'll meet back in a neutral spine. And then from here, right arm is going to go to the sky. Reach up. Take a deep breath in here as you reach to the sky, and then on the exhale, you're going to dive through. Right arm is going to thread the needle and drop underneath your left armpit. You'll drop down to the right side of your face, your ear, and then left fingertips, tent them, and press those left fingertips down into the floor, and use that hand as a lever to spiral you up towards the sky. So your right ribs spiral up to your left ribs. And then we'll be here about another 10 breaths. So this is a twist for the upper back, your upper chest. Those of you who are maybe rounded over a computer or a device of some sort today, you come home and you're still in that rounded shape. So from here, we're trying to erase that imprint on the spine. And the twist helps to reopen the front of the chest by manipulating the back body, the spine. You can let your face rest, even your eyes can rest down, but keep the heart spinning towards the sky. Let's take 2 more full breaths. Inhale, feel the crown of your head reach forward, your tailbone back, and then exhale, there's a spiral action. 1 more like that. Inhale, get longer from front of the mat to back of the mat. And then exhale, twist. And make your way back to all fours. 1 round of cat and cow in between. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Come back neutral. Same thing, side B. Left arm, reach it to the sky. Inhale. And then exhale, thread it underneath. Pause here. So right fingertips will come down to the floor. Press the fingertips. And then begin to twist up towards the sky. And we'll stay and pause here. And just using this time as a check-in, right? This is the end of your day. Hopefully that's when you're practicing with me, is at the end of the day. And how was your day? Perhaps it was very stressful. Perhaps you felt like you got a few things accomplished today. Perhaps you felt like you got nothing accomplished today. Yeah, but whatever your story is, I want you to drop the story. A lot of times in our head, we'll rewrite the story over and over again. Keep telling ourselves the same story. And the yoga practice is unwinding and dropping off the stories. At least for the time being, at least for the time that we're on our mat. So release whatever story you're telling yourself, especially if the story is a negative one. And then if you're wondering, well, what else is my mind supposed to do if it's not telling that story? Just allow yourself to focus on the sensations in your body and the breath moving in and out of your nostrils. Let's take 1 more full breath here. Inhale, lengthen crown of the head forward, tailbone back. Exhale, spiral in, twist. and then unwind completely. Come back to all fours. We'll take one more round of the cat and the cow. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. Good. From here, we're going to come into a downward facing dog briefly. Okay, so this will probably be the most effort that I'm going to ask you to do is this pose. Spread the hands really wide. Think rays of sunshine are your hands. Curl the toes under. You're going to press your hands down into the earth. Lift your hips up so your butt is sticking up. You got a little arch in your back. Press the mat away and lengthen your hips up towards the sky. Downward facing dog, also known as Adho Mukha Svanasana, if you like Sanskrit. And then from here, you guys, if your hamstrings are on the tighter side, I want you to bend your knees. Think of bending the knees like unlocking a door. So with the legs straight, it's like the door is closed. And then you bend the knees and you find some wiggle room. So find that wiggle room, keep the knees bent, press the mat away, lift the hips up and back. And then you're going to continue moving your sitting bones up as you let your head drop down. And then let's walk the dog. So bend one knee, drive the other heel closer to the floor. Repeat to the opposite side, bend and straighten and bend and straighten, and just walk it out. Keep your head drop down, gaze at the feet, watch what they're doing for 3, for 2, and 1. Good, both heels drop down. One more breath, inhale, press the mat away. Exhale, let the heels drop down a little further to the earth. And then come down onto your shins, your knees. So if you had a blanket, I'm gonna ask you to grab the blanket now. And what we'll do is, our blankets are all gonna be different sizes, so we'll just make it work. But try to have the blanket be similar to this, right? Just a square sort of shape, or maybe it's a rectangle for you. And then what we'll do is we will fold it in thirds. So I'm folding it 1/3 of the way, and then I'm gonna fold it again. So basically what I've created is a bolster. And if you have a bolster, then you're gonna use the bolster, okay? If you've got a pillow, you'll use the pillow. And you're gonna place this just along your mat, okay? So it'll go the short way along your mat. And then from there, we'll come back to all fours. Your hands are in front of the blanket and your knees are behind. And we're gonna start with the right leg. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna step this right shin forward, ankle forward, right in front of the mat. And it can be a soft shape. So I've got not a 90-degree angle with my shin, but more of a 45-degree angle. And then you're gonna sit your butt, so your right sitting bone, your bathroom muscles, and your left hip are all gonna be along this blanket. So you've got some support. And then if you have other props, right, if you've got some blocks or if you have a pillow or a bolster, you can place that in front of you, because what we're gonna do is dive down to the floor. So walking your hands forward. Lengthen as you do this, so inhale, reach forward, so you just don't plop down, but you lengthen forward. And then the block can go high, medium, or low, or you can double up your pillow and let your forehead rest down here. And this pose is called Pigeon Pose. Okay, so this, I don't know why they call it Pigeon Pose. It definitely doesn't look anything like a pigeon, but that's what it's called. And it's going to be a stretch for your outer hips, and you can probably feel that, okay? If it's a lot for you, I want you just to pause, maybe take your hands closer or lifting off of the floor and taking your hands to the floor instead of having your torso all the way down to the earth. Reach those left toes a little further back. And then what you'll notice is, because we'll be here for a longer period of time, you can start to lower yourself down with every exhale. So maybe you do 5 rounds of breath, and then on the 5th exhale, you lower down a little deeper. And we'll be here for time, about another minute and a half, 90 seconds or so. There's a saying in the yoga community that our hips are like the junk drawers of our lives. It's where we place all of our undigested emotions and stories and traumas, and they end up here in our hips. And that's the reason being, or sort of the yogic explanation behind that, is that this is the space of what's called your second chakra. A chakra is an energy vortex, and it's believed that there's these vortexes that live all up and down your spine, at all of the major places where your glands are. Okay, and so this place at the hips are this known as the space of water. It's also known as the space of your creativity. Obviously, the ultimate creativity being the ability to birth and create life here at the hips. And because it's the space of water, we know that waters can run really deep, and that sometimes emotions and water are seen as complementary, because emotions, like the water, can shift and take different shapes. And so because of that, we've got a lot of stuff happening in the hips. So sometimes you come into this shape and it can really feel like overwhelming. So if that's the case for you, try not to push anything away. Just allow what you see, what you're experiencing, to stay and to be there, and allow yourself to sit with it. Take 3 more breaths. And we'll take 2 more breaths. And then 1 more full inhale. Open the mouth, let out a sigh. And then make your way all the way up. Good. From here, you're going to move your blanket out of the way, your pillow out of the way. Just swing it forward. And then the back leg is going to swing forward to the front, and you're just going to cross this foot over the top of the bottom leg. So your right knee is pointing straight forward, and you'll take your left leg across, and then place the sole of your left foot down. And all you're going to do is hug this left knee into you. So reach around, give it a hug. Sit up really tall, or as tall as you can. So inhale, lengthen from the base of your spine up, and then exhale, fingertips go to the floor, and you begin to spiral behind you. So a twist. Let this be a gentle twist so you don't have to go super deep. And I want you to really concentrate on the breath here. So inhale, feel your spinal cord lengthening up. Keep that length you found. Exhale, spiral to the left. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen up and out. Exhale, twist. 1 more deep breath in. Inhale, imagine you're going up a spiral staircase. Exhale, the staircase starts to round. Good. Pause. Take your head back to the center, and then unwind the rest of your body. Hands are just going to go over to the right side, and you'll take an easy counter twist to that big twist. Good, and then send the legs out in front of you, give them a little shake, maybe even massage the legs a bit. Good. And then swing the legs behind you, and we'll take all of that to the other side. So grab your bolster, your pillow, your blanket, whatever you had, and place that across your mat. If you know that you needed it higher, go ahead and readjust it so that it can be a little higher here. And then we'll come to all fours, and now it's going to be the left shin. Yeah, bring it forward. And you guys, I want you to see this. You can probably see it more on this side. So my shin is more at a diagonal, and it can be close to your groin. It doesn't have to be all the way up here to a 90-degree angle. And you can adjust your blanket so it's also on a diagonal. And then you're going to sit your pelvis down onto the blanket. Come on your fingertips, reach those right toes back. Inhale, lift your chest up any amount. Try to keep this lift you've created, and then exhale, walk forward, but keep the length. You'll come down onto the earth or close to it. If you've got another prop, a bolster, you can place it underneath your belly, underneath your forehead, wherever it lands. And then we'll pause here, and we'll be here for time. So the Yin practice, which is what we're doing with these longer holds, the Yin practice is a beautiful practice. It's from the Taoist philosophy of Yin and Yang. And the Yang is that of the masculine and often associated with the sun. because it is energetic and it's what we're usually involved in during our waking hours, yang-like activities. So you can think very fiery, very active, and also associated with thinking and our mental capacity. And then on the other side of the coin is the yin, which is associated with feminine qualities, the moon, cooler aspect of being, a space of receptivity. And that's usually the feeling that is invoked once the sun has set and the moon comes out. And it's also associated with more introspection, more intuition. And that's kind of what we're cultivating here. So moving out of the busyness, moving out of the need to effort and complete task and grind and all of the words that can be associated with your day. And now letting the palms face up and the body to be more receptive. Turning the thinking mind off and allowing just divine wisdom to settle in on you, because you're more quiet and you can hear that wisdom. See if you can deepen into the shape, maybe walk the elbows forward. If you've got a block or a pillow, perhaps take it down to a lower height. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. And slowly peel yourself back up. You're going to grab your blanket, your pillow, just swing it off to the side, move it out of the way, and then back leg will swing forward and we'll take our twist. So step this right foot to the outside of the left knee, and you guys take your left knee so it points dead ahead, 12 o'clock. Good. And sit on both butt cheeks, right? So you're not lifting one off, but try to anchor them both. And then just draw that right knee as close as it can get. Left arm will reach up, and then you'll give yourself a big hug. Pull the leg in towards you and begin to spiral. My right fingertips become an anchor behind me. Press those fingertips down. That helps you sit up tall. We always want to twist on a straight spine. So inhale, get the spine as straight as it can go, and then exhale, begin to spiral. So think of this as winding yourself up so that we can wind down. You're coiling, 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 and then the recoil is going to feel so sweet. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, coil. Inhale, up that spiral staircase. Exhale, your staircase starts to turn. Head comes back to the center first, and then the rest of your body comes back. Just take an easy counter twist, hands over to the left. Good. And then extend the legs out in front of you. So now we're going to set up for our Shavasana, which would be the last pose. So if you do have a bolster, or you could also use your blanket, I'm going to show it with the bolster just because it's a little bigger. You can use your bolster. You place the bolster underneath your knees. Yep. You've got one of these eye pillows, you'll want that nearby. You can place blocks underneath your heels, right? So really what we want is for the body to be very supported so that we can go into a deeper realm of relaxation. You can take this blanket, use it as a pillow for your head. You don't want too thick of a pillow. A thinner pillow is going to be better. If you're chilly at all, you can also use this blanket over your body, okay? So I'm going to place it here. You guys, I'm just going to get you in the shape, and then I'll sit up and lead you through the meditation, okay? But so from here, you'll lay down onto your back. Grab your eye pillow if you have it. Adjust your blanket underneath your head. All right, I like the blanket underneath my head, not underneath my neck. So there's a little space underneath my neck, a little bridge underneath my neck. And then grab your pillow or whatever you have, and you'll place that right over your eyes. Okay, and then arms will just go out to the side. You can let the toes flop out. If your body is deciding, oh, I think I need a little more support, or maybe I need less support, then now is the time to adjust. I'm going to make my way back to a seat just so I can lead you through a meditation, but you are to stay as comfortable as you can. Let the back of your skull rest down deeper into your blanket, your mat, your floor. Maybe it's your bed. Your shoulder blades also rest down deeper into the floor, the blanket, the mat. So does the pelvis and the heels. So the whole back body is resting. Imagine a bed of sand, wet, firm sand underneath you. And it's as if you're trying to imprint all of the whole back side of your body into that sand. And there's a saying, strong back, soft front. So let your back be firm, strong, so that your front body can be soft and easy. And that's the muscles of the face. Let them rest, almost a feeling of them melting, that space between the third eye. The muscles around the jaw. Perhaps you even open and close your mouth a couple of times so you can relax the jaw. Muscles at the front of the throat, let those soften and relax. The chest, the belly. Are you holding your abs for some reason? Let them go. Let the belly spill over your pants. The thigh muscles are relaxing. Shins and all the muscles on the tops of the feet to your toenails. Let them relax. Be soft. If the eyes are not closed, close them or soften your gaze. And in this space, I want you to imagine that there is a golden light that's starting at the crown of your head. And not only is it at the crown of your head, but it's slightly above the crown of your head, maybe 3-6 inches or so above the crown of your head. And this light is moving from the crown of your head down the back of your neck, down your whole spinal cord, the upper back, the middle back, the lower back. Around to the front of the pelvis, down the thigh bones, the shin bones, until it reaches the feet. And it glides all the way down the tops of the feet, out of the toenails. And this golden light is now shining not only out of the crown of your head, but out of the soles and the tips of your feet. And then that light continues up the fronts of the legs, up the spinal cord, up the shoulder blades, until it reaches the very tops of the shoulders where the arms start. And then that light will continue to move down your arms, down your forearms, to the very palms of your hands. And that light gathers in a pool at the palms of your hands and then starts to spill outwards towards your thumbs, your first finger, middle, ring, pinky finger. And now the light is not only shining out of the top of the crown of your head, the soles of your feet, the tips of your feet, but also out of the tips of your fingers. And there's a sense of radiation from your physical body. A sense of connectivity, a sense of peace, a sense of radiance. And allow yourself to take up space here. Allow that golden light to be bigger than just your physical body, to move beyond your physical body. And you're going along for the ride. Allow yourself to reside in this space of fullness, of nourishment, of radiance, of pure light. And reside here for as long as you need. Perhaps you've already found your way into the unconscious parts of your mind, going towards the realm of sleep. And if that's the case, I will say namaste to you. For those of you who are still with me, just place 2 hands over your heart. You don't have to move any other parts of the body. And just take a nice deep breath in there underneath the heart space. Part the lips, exhale, let it go. Thank yourself for making this time for yourself, this time of self-care, of self-reflection. And know that the space that you've cultivated is always available for you. I'd like to thank you for tuning in and for practicing with me this evening. And I welcome you back anytime. And a special thank you to Purple for allowing us this space to take care of ourselves. The light within me honors that within each of you. Om Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.